Hey everyone, my name is Christopher Tovar. Welcome back to my interview series. This is my second out of 3 interviews for my education series. I'm here with Evan Charney from Washington State University. It's nice to have you here, Evan.
Nice to be here, Chris.
All right. So before we start this interview, I need to read you the statement of consent. So before we begin is the statement of consent. The interview may not commence until recorded evidence of the statement being read verbally is obtained. So repeat after me. I state your first and last name.
I, Evan Charney,
Grant permission to be interviewed and recorded.
grant permission to be interviewed and recorded.
Anything I speak or do during the duration of the interview may be used by the interviewer for educational purposes.
Anything I speak or do during the interview may be used by the speaker for educational purposes.
That's good enough. And will ultimately be shared with the class.
And will ultimately be shared with the class.
All right, perfect. So now we'll get on to the actual interview part. So the first question is going to be, tell me about a time when you struggled. This could include in a school environment or in an extracurricular activity you were a part
of. One time I struggled was my senior year of high school in math class. I am not the best at math, so I was really struggling with the material because I didn't really do my teacher my junior year. His teaching style was a little different than I was used to, so it was hard to keep up with him, but I was able to pass that class. But then I needed a little bit more from his class to succeed in the class for my senior year, and I didn't really have that material, so I struggled a little bit. So I had to go in for extra help and do a bunch of extra work to try and stay on track and get caught up with the material. So that was a challenge for me.
I understand. So you just think you needed a bit more guidance to get on track with that class?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So that's good. Now we'll move on to the second question. So how did you respond to the struggle, and what, if anything, would you have done differently if you knew then what you know now?
I tried to just get through, and I kept I stayed in the class for the second quarter, and I just studied harder. I put in a lot of more extra free time and stuff. And if I could change anything, I probably would have tried to do that amount of work and put in that much extra effort during my junior year, so that way I wouldn't have fallen behind my senior year for that class.
I get that. So you wish you had prepared a bit more earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, understand. All right, now we're going to move on to the final question. So at this moment, either reflecting on your past struggle or still trying to overcome it, what did you feel you learned / what are you learning about yourself from this experience?
I learned that you should definitely, if you're given an opportunity, you should definitely take advantage of it. If you're given the opportunity to learn, you should definitely take that opportunity because it might not come around a second time. And you should always try and be the most prepared and just try your best and give your best effort towards something. So that way, even if you fail, you could be like, oh, you know what, I tried my best and that's okay. But if you didn't try your best and then you failed, it's not a great feeling and you're not going to want to feel it. And as long as you try your best, things will work out.
I understand. That's a good outlook on that. I'm glad you got something out of that. That's perfect. All right, so that would conclude video 2 of 3 of my education interview series. Thank you very much, Evan, for joining us, and we'll see everyone else pretty soon. Thank you, Evan.
Thanks for having me, Chris.